Hey everyone, I hope y'all are doing well and staying profitable. This is going to be the daily review for the 4th of September 2024. Okay, so today I'll just kind of go over briefly what I do in this Discord now. So kind of getting the first few members in, like what I'm offering here, no one else is offering really. Since I'm growing, I make content because I like it. I make content to educate. And I love educating. I used to be a math tutor. Math used to be my passion, and that's what I did. And now I'm a trader, so I want to teach trading. So I don't charge anything. I might even do live trading for free. We'll see. If there's enough people in there that want to learn from me, I'll do live trading 100% free. And yeah, so just that's what I'm able to offer, having a small fan base. Well, I mean, I don't know if I have a fan base, but you know what I mean. That's just what I want to do. So yeah, I'll pretty much just go through what I talked about today. So every single day I come in here and I post my analysis. So game plan for the 4th of September. So I said, looking for a bullish reaction out of equilibrium in this daily for value gap. Then I said, looks for putting in a 1 hour OB, watch for news. So as you can see, I'm just going through my entire market analysis here. I went over a good trade, but I said this should be a lesson because I'll pretty much just go over what I talked about. So on the daily, why was I bullish? Well, I was bullish because in this daily range, so initially here we had a bearish SMT at this high actually, which seems like, and we also looked like we delivered. I know it sounds kind of nuts, but it does look like we delivered from here because we didn't fully inverse this daily gap here, this daily opening gap. That's when price closes and reopens around an hour later. The futures market has that hourly. It's open 23 hours of the day, and then in that hour, the price can jump a little, and it is an area of liquidity. So it looks like we rejected that with a bearish SMT, which initially thought I was going to be bullish here, but we saw signs like we inversed this at the downside. So once we kind of inversed this daily, I said, okay, so the DOL, it's going to be this bullish for value gap, this daily gap here, and it also aligns with 50% of the range. So I literally said yesterday on my Instagram story as well that, okay, looks like we're targeting this equilibrium, and then later in the day we hit it. So, I'm able to predict the market, and I want to show you guys how to do it as well. So anyway, so we were right about this prediction. So I was completely bullish from here because we tapped equilibrium, 50% of the range, and we're in a daily for value gap. It's a really simple bias. So now, I was bullish for the day, right? So coming down to the lower time frame, I kind of noticed we just kind of like accumulating in here. Not like accumulating by meaning just like consolidating. Nothing really happened overnight, which is kind of a good sign. When we accumulate overnight, we potentially, like for example, if this is accumulation, then New York might distribute, and then later in the day we'll have an actual move. But to me, this is just like a buy model. We came down into this major imbalance, accumulated in here, and then we're getting a move out. And to me, this just looks like a classic buy model, U-shape. I mean, pretty classic stuff. So coming into the day here, I said on my Discord that I wanted, what did I say? Yeah, I said, looks like we're putting in a 1 hour OB. So like coming into the day, I saw this and I said, okay, so if we're able to put in this 1 hour order block, OB for order block, then I think we have room for upside, potentially up to this hourly for value gap. This hourly for value gap being here. Because on the hourly, it's really the only speed bump. This is the first for value gap in the leg. It makes sense for us to target this. So this is kind of my buy side target for the day. So yeah, we put in this hourly order block. Right, I'm just going to get rid of this equilibrium here and get rid of this for value gap because we know we're delivering from a daily. We can remember that. So here's the hourly order block. So I was interested in this. So here's the hourly order block. It would have formed at 7 a.m. So literally like formed, yeah. So it formed like right here. News came out. We dumped at news. I don't really care what we do at news. I just wait for the reaction. So we ended up like sweeping all of this. So we swept all these lows here, which makes sense because this kind of does look like, well, it doesn't look like it. It is 100% trendline liquidity. So we swept all this trendline liquidity during news, which is good because I wouldn't want to long with this below just because it's a good sell side target. So we had that, we swept that, and then we had I believe a 5-minute imbalance here. Yeah, so we had this is a 5-minute BPR. You could draw the fair value gap too, but since I like the BPR here. Actually, yeah, let's just draw the fair value gap. Excuse my notification. So yeah, we swept the sell side here, we delivered from here. The only problem with what happened here was this. So on the 30-second here, there were equal lows here. I just wanted these, we had perfect equal lows. Yes, are they overnight? Yes, but they are equal lows. And what's worse is that, look at that, we did sweep them by a tick, but sweeping something by a tick, to me, yeah, that's still equal lows. A tick is not a sweep. You can call me wrong, but for me, a tick is not a sweep. So to me, these are just triple equal lows that we formed. So I wouldn't care about these, but the fact that we just hit them and I didn't like it, it wasn't necessarily going to completely stop me from taking a trade, but either way, there wouldn't have been any trades from me personally, and I'll kind of go into why. So anyway, let's just assume we didn't make these equal lows, right? Let's just kind of go into, because it probably wouldn't affect my decision because these are overnight and we did deliver from this fair value gap. So if the sell side, quickly inverse this news candle. So it's bullish on the day rate. I was just looking for setups really, and well, you could take this. This is honestly a good setup here, along here. But like, look at the risk to reward. You're okay. So there's an inversion here, right? This is your target. Obviously you have higher targets, but you know what I mean? Like, this is like zero negative risk to reward. It's horrible. So I would never take this. And what I'm talking about is the news candle being inversed, which is a pretty common thing. As we get more news days, tomorrow we'll also have a pretty heavy news day. So hopefully because I kind of want to show you guys how I trade. I don't trade news, but I trade the reaction on news, and I have a very high success rate with it. So I'll kind of go into that. My highest probability setups are playing inversions off of news and other things like that, because there's a lot of resting orders in these news. Usually during news there's super high wicks or super low wicks, and those are really good targets because there's a lot of resting orders there that haven't been filled, and I'll go into that when we actually get a news day. So yeah, nothing really happened. Yeah, so we swept sell side, broke structure to the upside. So I was bullish. We put in the hourly OB. I only wanted to take longs, but I didn't see a long. What I was waiting for was maybe this. Like, imagine if this wick, like this one here, was lower, or the candle was lower, and this was like a fair value gap like this or something. Just imagine that, right? This inversion I would have 100% taken, just because we would have been delivering from this. We have, the biases in check. You could say, are we delivering from a bearish fair value gap? Yes, but I don't really consider this a fair value gap. This is just like a void of liquidity, which usually we want to fill completely. We're not really expecting this to reject. If it rejects, then sure, but we're usually expecting voids like this to be filled, because there's resting orders at the top here that haven't been filled because news is such a rapid movement. So we're expecting price to come back, fill this instead, not necessarily inverse it, but fill it. Fill all the orders and then reject if it will reject. So I don't really consider it a fair value gap, so I would have taken this setup, but then again, look at the fair value gap we got. I would never touch this, right? And on the 1 minute, I don't think it's really any clearer. Yeah, there's just no fair value gap on the 1 minute, so this would have been the only setup. Was there a 15-second? Maybe. Not even. So, but I don't trade the 15 second. Sometimes I look at it, but I have a rule. I don't trade the 15 second. You guys can if you want. Anyway, so Another setup that happened, the best setup of the day, honestly, in my opinion. So we were delivering from here. I'm just going to delete this 1 hour order block. You guys understand we're delivering from that order block and that it's a good bullish confluence. I don't think we had any SMTs around here. Yeah, price was correlated, and correlation is very good. We had an SMT kind of at the lows over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we had an SMT here. Another bullish confluence, so I don't even think we need another one to be bullish. But at the lows here, and if I zoom out, like this is an SMT here, as you can see, low here, NASDAQ didn't sweep, ES did, right, with a very bullish reaction. So if we go on like the 5 minute or something, this is a pretty significant SMT, and as we can see, the low of the SMT here, this low was protected. That's what you really want to see. You want to see the lows, or let's say you have a bullish SMT like this one, which delivered, you know, right, SMT. You want this low to be protected. If we start trading below, even like if we start displacing below, then it's definitely a bearish sign. Even if we start trading below, like sweeping this, it's not, you don't really want to see this swept. So it makes a lot of sense, you know, we left the equal lows, whatever. Just pretend we didn't. What happened here is really great. We created a fair value gap off of this SMT, and we never ended up coming back to this low. This low should be protected. Protected meaning we don't come and touch it again. So yeah, and as we can see, we never did. We came close, but we didn't. So it's a very bullish sign, very bullish reaction out of this fair value gap that the SMT created. So super bullish. I mean, I was you know, very confident that we were going to go up today, but I just didn't find a setup, which is honestly really unfortunate because you're not going to have high quality bias days like this all the time. So the only other setup was this one. This was the other setup of the day. So why was this good? I mean, it wasn't great, but why was it decent? Well, we're delivering from this bullish gap here, right? We had swept this low with like little displacement inside of this fair value gap. So early, you know, people who got in long on this fair value gap early got stopped out, so we're taking their liquidity as well. Sweeping the low with no displacement, well, a little bit, but then we come up, and the problem with this trade is two things, in my opinion. Two things, which made me, if it was only one thing, I probably would have considered taking this. Well, three things, I guess. Okay, one, the equal lows. I already mentioned this, right? There were equal lows here, but they didn't matter to me too much. They mattered to me a little bit. It was definitely something to consider. So what else? So that's the first thing. The second thing is we didn't have a good target for this trade. So we had this, we had swept this high, right? So this would be the target, right? This high. So let's try what the position would have been, right? So stop would have been a close back below this inverse, and your target would have probably been this high, and obviously you'd have more targets, but the target's just not good because this high swept other highs. So if the day ends up being bearish, this high will be protected and we'll never sweep it. It's just not an ideal target. Like for example, if you were to, you know, go long here for this inverse, which you never would, but let's just say you did. This target's so good because this high never swept this high. There's stops above here. It's just a really high quality target. This high swept this high. It's already swept liquidity. You don't really want to target a high that's already swept liquidity, if that makes any sense. So, but anyway, it's okay. And also, so that's the second thing. The third thing is that we just snaked above this inverse. What I like is momentum. I want to see momentum above these inversions, showing that the market wants to go where we want it to go. And look at this. I mean, it was like one candle reject, one candle, two candle, 3, 4, 5, just small, low volume, shitty candles. There's my one swear word for the video. It's just not clean. And yes, it worked, but I mean, this would have been a break-even trade for me. So, I mean, even if I had FOMO for this, it would have been a break-even trade. My break-even stop would have been here. I would have held for 50 to hold half to this high. Would have been stopped at break-even. So yeah, but I hope you guys can kind of see why that's, you know, a good setup. And then the rest of the day we just pumped. And I mean, I stopped trading at 8:10. There was a setup right here, the only other setup of the day, and it was during my trading hours, but we're too high. Is it pretty good? Yeah, if this happened down here, I would have taken it, but no, we're just too high. Doesn't follow my rules. As you can see, the move already has happened. So I'm not willing to buy all the way up here when I could have bought down here. Not saying I should have. I followed my plan, but this is just too high. Not a plus because of that. I'll show you why it was a good trade though. Well, we had this fair value gap here. Delivered from this. Was there an SMT here? I don't remember. No. Yeah, that's fine. So we delivered from this gap, you know, swept this low, no displacement, good bullish reaction, body's holding this fair value gap. And we came up and inversed this kind of swiftly, putting it in an order block at the same time. Why can't I draw a line? Whatever, you get the point. So yeah, that was a good trade. If that happened down there, like earlier, like kind of with the, you know, maybe a news candle, would 100% taking that. In the end, we just pumped for the rest of the day. I stopped trading at 8:10. We're too high, so I just logged off around here. Saw this work. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, so, you know, break even day. Didn't take any trades, but I guess a lot to learn from today. It was this is really a bias win. I was completely right about the bias. You know, the predictions are on point, just no executions, and that's okay. So hopefully tomorrow, I mean, I do think I'm still going to be bullish tomorrow. I think we have, like I just talked about voids, right? I think these are voids, not really for value gaps. So I'm willing to, I mean, on the daily I'm bullish, right? So I'm definitely expecting all these 4 hours to be inversed. And yeah, today it looks like we're going to get a bearish daily for value gap here. And then the next day coming days, I'm looking for us to inverse this daily, come back to it, and then just be bullish probably to here and even to the all-time highs. So that's what I'm expecting. But yeah, I'm willing to long before this inverses just because of how the conviction I have in this bias. So yeah, this was a longer daily review. There was a fair bit to go over. So yeah, if you guys took trades today, I hope they went really well. And yeah, tomorrow we got more red folder news, so hopefully it's going to be a good day. And it's September. We're good to go. We're ready. Let me know if you got questions. Join my Discord. I literally post my daily market review every single day. And as you can see in here, I posted something like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I posted a lot of stuff today. One thing I wanted to mention was we had an amazing short here. And I'll show you what the short was. And the reason I said this is a lesson. So I said, but it's against bias. I said we had a sweep of high with no displacement, bearish SMT, equal low target, high in range. This should be a lesson because it'll probably fail because it's against bias, and it failed. Where's the setup? It's right here. So why is this a really good short? Well, we had a pretty good fair value gap here. We did have a bearish SMT. I'll kind of go into, because I wasn't really able to explain much in text, but on the 15-minute I can find this SMT, I think. Yeah, so it would have been at like 7. I can't really find it. It's easier to see in live time. I'll go like here. Okay, whatever. Well, yeah, there was a bearish SMT. Okay. I just can't find it because in live time it's kind of hard to find. Careful, this bearish SMT. Didn't I say something? Bearish SMT. Sorry guys, where was this bearish SMT? Okay, whatever. There was a bearish SMT here. Yeah, swept a high. Nasdaq didn't. We ended up just breaking the SMT because the bias is wrong. But anyway, on the 2 minute, so right here we had, we swept this high with no displacement. Clean inversion down. This is your entry. This is your target. Why is this a good target? Because it's a data low. The news made this low. Like I said, they're good targets because, we also had, they're good targets because there's orders that haven't been filled here. We had, the equal lows here on the 30-second. Very high quality targets, very high quality sweep, good fair value gap, clean 1 candle inversion. That's what I like to see. But I literally said this is probably going to fail because the bias is wrong. We're so bullish that even like a perfect short setup is going to fail. That's just the reality. I mean, why does it fail? Just because we're super bullish. So that's why I only take longs. That's why I don't fade my bias. So yeah, that's just what I wanted you guys to see. So, and was I right? Yes. That's how we do it. So in the Discord, I'll be posting everything. Feel free to join. I don't charge anything for anything. Will I in the future? Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how many people we get. So if you want to join, there's not many people in here, but I do want to grow this into a community. Maybe. Like I said, I post everything for free. There's no catch or anything. So. And also, if you join, you can just DM me. DM me questions. I'll just answer. I'm in a state right now where I'm a profitable trader, and I want to teach others to do the same. So, I'm not, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to listen to me. But if you're watching this video for 23 minutes, then I'd recommend, tomorrow join, see if you like what I say in the morning. If you don't, then leave. So, anyway, thank you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This was a long one. Thank you guys for staying, and I'll talk tomorrow. See y'all.